Indonesian volcano erupts, leaving 11 confirmed dead, several suffering burns. About 75 climbers became stranded on Mount Merapi, which erupts periodically in recent years. So we gotta open up Google Earth for this. Indonesian authorities halted on Monday the search for 12 climbers after Mount Merapi volcano erupted again, unleashing a new burst of hot ash as high as 800 meters into the air, officials said. The bodies of 11 climbers were recovered earlier in the day, but attempts to relocate others were hindered by the renewed activity. West Sumatra's Search and Rescue Agency head Abdul Malik said. The search operation would resume once the conditions improved, he added. A video released by the agency shows rescuers evacuating an injured climber on a stretcher off the mountain and into a waiting ambulance to be taken to a hospital. I guess this is what this is right here. Do we have any footage of the explosion?
Tolong dikendalikan, Pak. Tadi udah kita pimpin.
Okay. The volcano has stayed at the third highest of 4 alert levels since 2011, indicating above normal volcanic activity and prohibiting climbers or villagers within 3 kilometers of the peak, said Hendra Gunwan, the head of the Center for Volcanology and Geological Disaster Mitigation. This means there should be no climbing to the peak. Gunwan added that climbers were only allowed below the danger zone, but sometimes many of them broke the rules to fulfill their satisfaction to climb further. Hundreds of villagers affected by smoke and ash. About 75 climbers had started their way up the nearly 2,900 meter mountain on Saturday and became stranded. 8 of those, 75 people stranded. Jeez. Okay. 8 of those rescued Sunday were rushed to hospital with burns, and 1 also had a broken limb, said Hari Agustian, an official at the local search and rescue agency in Padang, the West Sumatra provincial capital. All climbers had registered at 2 command posts or online through West Sumatra's conservation agency before they climbed. How do you say this? Augustine said it was possible that others took illegal roads or local residents were active in the area, but it couldn't be confirmed, he said. Merapi spewed thick columns of ash as high as 3,000 meters in Sunday's eruption, and hot ash clouds spread several kilometers. Nearby villages and towns were blanketed by tons of volcanic debris. Volcanic dust and rain smeared the faces and hair of evacuated climbers, according to video on social media. Falling ash blanketed several villages in block sunlight, and authorities distributed masks and urged residents to wear eyeglasses to protect them from volcanic ash. About 1,400 people live on Merapi's slopes. In Rubai, Chutamang, the nearest village is about 5 to 6 kilometers from the peak. Let's just quickly pull this up too in maps and see what this is. Oh, damn. Okay. Well, this is the mountain right here. And it looks like, wow, yeah, it is surrounded by locals. Oh. I guess these are mostly farms, though. I imagine the soil would be excellent, too. There's a lot of farming around here. And right up to the edge of the mountain, you can see there's probably like a zone where they don't build. Okay. Merapi's eruption is difficult to predict, analyst. Gunwan said Sunday's eruptions was not preceded by a significant increase in volcanic earthquakes. Deep volcanic earthquakes were only recorded 3 times between November 16th and on Sunday, while deformation equipment or tilt meter on the peak shows a horizontal pattern on the radial axis and a slight inflation on the tangential axis. This shows the eruption process is taking place quickly, and the center of pressure is very shallow around the peak, he said. Merapi is observed regularly erupting since 2004, with a gap of 2 to 4 years, Gunwin said. Merapi's eruptions are always sudden and difficult to detect using equipment because the source is near the surface, Gunwin said. The eruption was not caused by the movement of magma. West Sumatra's Search and Rescue Agency head Abdul Malik said rescuers found 11 bodies of climbers as they searched for those missing and rescued 3 others on Monday morning. The evacuation process of the bodies and survivors are still ongoing, he said, adding that rescuers are still searching for 12 climbers reportedly missing. Merapi has been active since January eruption caused no other. Merapi has been active since the January eruption that caused no casualties. It is among more than 120 active volcanoes in Indonesia, which is prone to seismic upheaval due to its location on the Pacific Ring of Fire, an arc of volcanoes and fault lines encircling the Pacific Basin. So what they're saying, too, is that one of the reasons why this is so hard to predict is because most of the activity is from the surface of the volcano itself. So there's a very good chance that, like, I don't know how deep it is, but normally you could detect seismic activity pushing stuff out the top of the volcano from the local area, but that's not the issue. They're going to detect it, like, it happens right away and quickly somewhere near, I guess, I wouldn't even have a guess here, but he said somewhere near the surface.